Hello, hello. So I'm going to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 17, episode 14. This is Highland Games and Explosive Claims. We pretty much spend about, I don't know, what is this, a good 15 minutes on playing games, kind of like the trader games a little bit that Phaedra had set up for the day outside. They I don't even remember the word, some kind of log and stuff where you flip a log, throw in the axe, and tug of war. We know what tug of war is. Um, Whatever team that Kelly was on, they was the losers because she was ended up getting dragged down the dang thing. But anywho, that was fun. Now it's time to like eat some Scottish food and I guess go out for the next thing. But in the process, they was gonna try some haggis, which is kind of like a meat mixture meal or entree, but it involves, I believe, is it sheep brains, goat brains? It might be sheep. I don't know. It might be or cow. But either way, it's all mixed up in the thing. Had some hot toddies, and then we have some like little lunch. So at the lunch, um, asking Kelly is she okay, during that whole mishap with the blogs and her ex, doing all the stuff. And just, Drew and her and others in the group pretty much took this time to just kind of be like, yeah, expressing, the girlhood, the sisterhood, and the support for one another. And thanks for having my back. And I thank you for this, And Portia making a speech like, yeah, just hopefully we can continue this path that we're on right now, which of course we know is not going to be necessarily a straight and narrow journey because Shamir over there looking like Portia being real fake right now, but it's okay because we'll talk it out later. And a little fun fact, Phaedra's over there trying to watch her some little Orno. I don't know if you're allowed to say the word with the P. Corno. She was trying to watch some corn. And she got restricted. So maybe she just clicked on the wrong thing because. Okay, so we talking with Pinky and K Michelle, off to the side. Because for them, it's like, yeah, we definitely noticing that there's something wrong with Shamia, okay? I don't know if it's just between, Shamia and K Michelle, it's Pinky talking, or if it's just Shamia and everybody, which it kind of seemed like it's Shamia versus everybody. And of course, Cave is like, yeah, I don't know why she doing this to me, because I've just been trying to be her friend. Like, I know all that crazy mess she got going on with the other Atlanteans or whatever around town telling her this and that. But whatever, I'm still here and I'm still supporting her and everything, trying to be her friend. But yeah, she noticing the pushback as well. So both of them just trying to figure out like what is it? Like it can't just be me or whatever little stuff. It's something else. Like it's just something deeper and we gotta figure it out, right? And with K Michelle, she was just a little bit mad because yeah, she's acting like Shami is acting like she don't got no friends or nobody except for Kelly, and she like, well, I mean, you got me too, so woo, why you gonna say that? Look, and she said it out loud, yeah. And then Shamia, on the other hand, is in her room talking to her mama, trying to say like, yeah, I've been doing basically, I'm trying to do everything right by these girls, and still when I'm proven right when it comes to that Angela situation, because Angela was lying over there, they still shut me down with something else, which was, oh, well, you shouldn't have been talking to her daughter or something like that, or oh, you shouldn't have been, like, it's always a but. And I'm just over it. Like, I've been letting a lot of things slide, but I think I'm just coming to a little boiling point here. And of course, her mom just giving her support to just be like, girl, chill out. It'll be okay. But, we know it's not going to be, I mean, it'll be, we don't know when it's going to be okay. How about that? I guess it's gonna be a very quick review because they really ain't doing nothing on this episode. It's more like the calm before the storm type of situation because now they going to the next destination somewhere, and of course they gotta ride the sprinter there. And they're just talking about. Oh, Kelly had on a nice little McDowell's outfit. If coming to America, McDowell's, right? So they're like, well, who you get that outfit from? And she said, oh, my man, my man, my man. So they're like, who is this dude, Jarvis? Shamia done hooked them up or whatever. And he, been nice to her and all this stuff. Remember, helped her up, hooked her up with them teeth and everything, this and this and that. So this conversation leads into, I guess, vagina again. Do your exercises, girls, Keep it tight, keep it right. Oh, yeah, before they actually left the house, Pinky over there having a breakdown, child. Like, apparently, throughout the whole day, she been getting calls back to back to back to back from people at home trying to tell her that stuff is needed for the business wise, to be handled. So I guess instead of them handling it, they need to call her to handle it. And what needs to be handled is pretty much some money, okay? And she just basically having a breakdown because it was just a little bit too much. She felt a little bit overwhelmed with everything that's going on. Remember, she had to do the whole bankruptcy thing. And I mean, this is the thing. I don't know if she knew this or not, but you have your own business. You have to pay people. You have to pay for things in order to keep the business running. So why is you getting mad because somebody need to order some chicken nuggets, or and then remember that last episode she was like, dang, $4,000 just came out of my bank account, so I had to go and call and see what it was, and it was some French fries. Like, well, how you don't know that these things is coming to you, or I don't know. So that's what I be like. That's what's weird about it, because it costs money to do these things. So I don't know. And they just gave her like, oh, it's okay type thing like that. But I would have just been looking at her all crazy and probably wouldn't even went over there and give her no type of tissue, because it's what you're supposed to do. Portia and Phaedra take them to a kilt shop, designer boutique or whatever. So he gave them the whole history on all the different types of plaids that they got. And pretty much each different color and pattern correlates to where the person is from, or I guess could be by their family name or surnames or something like that. So that was kind of cool. A little bit knowledge to know, because I really didn't know that. And a little gift to everybody from Phaedra, or from, I guess, Phaedra and Portia, even though Portia is the one that fitted the bill, she's going to buy all the girls a sash from the store. And that was pretty cool. They got to see them make everything. They hand stitch and everything. Like, okay, so we're going to dinner now, okay? And we're pretty much about at the end of the episode. We're having our little politeness, kiki here, with the ladies. Everybody's been enjoying themselves so far. Drew let them know that, she got her music stuff going on. I think she said she got to work with Ray J on something on the song. So, cool. And which I don't even know. Let's see. I just think about that while I say. I think it's a tour coming on. I gotta look up. But anywho, in this conversation, everything was good. Okay, everybody's getting along. And we end up rolling around to when Drew mentioned, like, hey, Portia, by the way, I was talking to Dennis, okay? Just, so because I know, remember, she didn't want Dennis talking to her, hanging around her, and then working together, because she didn't want Dennis to be talking about her behind her back, okay? Especially on the camera and all this other stuff, to make things seem like it wasn't Portia kind of want to control all that when it comes to their relationship and on the camera, actually. Like, we can kind of see that. But anywho, she's like, yeah, and he was just telling me, how he was out here dating and just, kind of how he was feeling, and he do feel some type of way, especially when it comes to, like, Pilar or whatever, right? So I think Angela interjected here to bring up Mike. Like, yeah, so how does he feel about you dating Mike and all that stuff? And Portia takes it from here just to say, like, well, yeah, obviously Dennis always gonna feel some type of way, right? I guess whenever she want to date somebody. But I guess when it came to Sway, he really kind of was just on some other stuff, right? And, a little bit taking it a little bit too far is how she see it. Because, it is her kid. Obviously, it's his kid too. But she ain't going to do nothing bad and, bring nobody around her like that until it's supposed to be. Or, you know what I'm saying, the right time. So, from this, Shamia says, oh, well, speaking of Pilar, I mean, Dennis was talking to Simon and, because they cool and all. And he said that Pilar can't come around to her house and her family and all that stuff. So she like, what's up with that? So, of course, Portia like, well, I mean, we ain't cool right now. So I would just prefer that she just don't be around there like that. If that's, what I'm saying, until we can get back. So, of course, Shamia a little bit mad or, feel a little slighted because, dang, I thought, I mean, even though we beefing right now, what's wrong with the babies? Like, they friends and we shouldn't split that up over some crap we got going on. Because, eventually we going to get back. Just like, let's say family or something. Like, if I'm mad at my sister or something, my kid can still go to her house or my, vice versa. All that type of stuff. Because they ain't got nothing to do with this. That's you. But, so, I don't know. I guess they both, you both can feel whatever you feel. Nobody's wrong here. Okay, the dinner definitely just went to the right. I mean, like, the whole thing with the Pilar thing. Okay, yeah, so we don't want her to come over to your house because we ain't cool and this and this and that. Okay, well, you said you didn't want us to come between the babies or something like that. Well, you didn't want us to come between the mama beefs. And, from here, Shamia was just trying to air Portia out pretty much by saying, going way back to the beginning, like, okay, I was a friend up on the show because you told me that you didn't want me to be a full housewife because it will mess up our friendship. And I'm already, host here. I'm working with the basketball, the football, I'm on the TV, I'm cheerleading, I'm in the singing group, like I'm doing things. So I could be a friend on the show and then, Portia could do her thing. That's her thing. And then Portia like, no, because remember I said that I wanted you to be on the show. Remember at the reunion, I told Andy that I've been trying to get her on the show all of these years. But she just never got the peach like she wanted to, right? And I guess with all of this, all the ladies are just watching, okay? Because this is technically what they've been waiting on this whole time. Kind of what all of us been waiting on this whole time. Like, forget all these other little beasts that y'all got going on. It's the real meat and potatoes, because we all know that from Shamia expressing her grievances to Angela, right, about Portia was like a strike, or one of the strikes in this whole split of their little friendship, okay? Another thing we know had to do with the parents, right? Because they mamas is friends, or used to be friends. And here goes Shamia go again. Like I said, she's trying to air Portia out. And with that, she got to air out Tina. Is that her mama name? Say, look, is that her mama name? I forgot. Or look, I know she thinks she Tina knows, but I can't remember what the hell her name was. Oh no, Miss Diane. Listen, she thinking she got us trying to trick us, Miss Diane, you girl, you. And Shami and Mom got whatever they had going on. We know that, I guess, they beef broke up or split up when it comes to the businesses. I guess Miss Diane has some type of daycare going on, and Shami and Mama ended up buying her out. And I guess that was just like, dang, maybe without her consent or whatever. So that's like, dang, that's messed up. But even more to that, your mama, Miss Diane, was trying to sleep with, would she say my daddy? Okay. So she like, okay, well, that's crazy. You can't be saying stuff like that. My mama ain't never did nothing like this and that, whoop, whoop, whoop. And then Portia gonna say, well, I mean, your mama slept with your daddy's brother or whatever, because my mama used to go with him and she betrayed her by messing with him, like before I guess she even met with her dad or something like that. Like, I don't know. So everybody at the table is just like, oh my gosh, like, what is going on? Should we say something? Should we stop it? I mean, it's getting good. Did we get dinner yet? Like drinks. Where is the drinks? Okay, so that's just pretty much how we're gonna end it, because Shamia, this conversation was getting a little bit too much. They both can't talk one-on-one. We're going over each other at this point. Pinky trying to ask them, like, what is it that is actually like the cause of this whole little friendship breakdown? They both trying to answer the question at the same time. That's what I'm saying. Like, it ain't even working. Portia is trying to remain as calm as possible, just to let Shamia look as crazy as possible. So Shamia just was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna be done with it. So she ends up getting up and leaving. Like, y'all can have it. I'm over it. I'm done. This is it. Kelly follows her out so she doesn't have to be here by herself. Portia, back at the table. Well, K. Michelle was like, well, I'm, sticking up for Shamia here. Like, I mean, don't y'all kind of feel like maybe it's a little bit of a gang going, just a little bit? And Cynthia, I guess, don't see it. She see it as, well, is it Shamia picking to get these reactions out of everybody? And of course, they roll the tape back to, a few different moments throughout the show, just to see, like, it's not always Shamia, really, right? It's the other people bringing something up, asking her, or bringing something up with her name in it. So she is feeling like, I gotta defend myself in whatever is going on at every moment. So it's kind of like she always on ready, can't never relax. I just head on the swivel, okay? She in baddies, okay? This wrong show, girl. You gotta relax a little bit. And Portia is hearing Kay, but she like, listen, y'all don't understand. Like, her talking about my mama and all that stuff, like, that's just going too far. We is not gonna be friends no more. It is over. It is done with. I can't deal. Like, we both crossing the line at this point. She crossed it and I crossed it, so we're done. Shamia on her end is saying the same thing. Like, I can't believe she talk about my mom and my family like that. This is crazy. This old no, alone, this and that. So it's over. I'm done. I don't want to be her friend anymore. So I guess we'll just have to see. I think it was mainly, would it be the show? See, that's why they say you can't come on here as friends, because you ain't gonna be friends in the end unless you Robin and Giselle, because that's the only friendship that I never broke up. I'm telling you, that's the only ones that have never let go. And then I would kind of say Whitney and Heather almost, like, they did have that little hiccup over there in Salt Lake City, but technically they cousins, so they ain't never going nowhere. Like, what I'm saying, they technically will never split. Yeah, and they tried it. Yeah, so yep, that's the only ones I can think of. I'm trying to think of all these houses. Robin and Giselle, the only ones that's holding strong. Oh wait, remember Miami? What was them? The two little Mexican speaking Cubano girls. They was tight like this. Marisol and the other one, Alexia. Yep. They ain't never break up either. They tried it though, but they never break up. But anywho, this was an episode. Like I said, it was actually not much, but we squeezed out a little bit of this lemon and got some lemonade out of it, just a little bit. So this was episode season 17. We finally got through to the Shania and the Portia beef.